Have you ever wondered what secrets lie hidden beneath the streets of Lagos? This isn't just a story. It's a mystery that could change everything you thought you knew. I am Amara. I'm 25 years old, born and raised in Lagos, though I like to joke that Lagos raised me more than my parents did. Anyone who has lived in this city knows it shapes you, it breaks you, it molds you, and somehow, it still manages to love you back. I'm the kind of girl you'd probably notice on a campus walkway. Not because I'm the most beautiful, though I've been told I have a presence, but because of how I carry myself. I like my jeans fitted, my tops clean and chic, my braids always freshly done. I'm not flashy, but Lagos doesn't let you walk around unnoticed when you're a young woman who knows herself. This story I'm about to tell you, it sounds like fiction. Even I sometimes wonder if it really happened. But every time I open a book, every time I touch a page, I'm reminded. Some things change you forever, whether the world believes you or not. It all started when I was a final year student at the University of Lagos, UNILAG. It was exam season, that period when every library seat becomes more precious than gold. I had been up since 6 a.m., clutching my backpack like my life depended on it. By 7, all the usual seats in the main library were gone. Lagos students don't joke with exam rush. I was frustrated, sweating under the Lagos heat, when a friend, Chica, whispered, "Amara, I hear there's one old wing of the library that's always empty." "Nobody goes there." "Why?" I asked. She shrugged. "People say it's dusty, abandoned. But if you're desperate, check behind the law section." At first I laughed. UNILAG's library is like a maze, but I had never seen any hidden wing. Still, something in me, it might have been curiosity, or maybe stubbornness, decided to check. That's how I found the door. It was small, wooden, and half covered by a bookshelf that looked like it hadn't been touched in years. When I pulled it open, a rush of cool air hit me, smelling of old paper and rain, though the day outside was dry. I stepped in. The room was massive, bigger than it should have been. Dust floated in thin beams of sunlight. Rows upon rows of shelves stretched out, but the books, they weren't like normal textbooks. Their spines glowed faintly, titles shifting as though they were alive. And then I noticed something stranger. The books were rearranging themselves. I froze. One moment a shelf held thick law journals. The next it reshuffled to poetry collections. I thought I was hallucinating from exam stress. But when I pulled one book down, its title sliding across the cover as if it couldn't make up its mind, I saw something that made my blood run cold. The book was writing about me. It wasn't a diary. It wasn't even fiction. The pages described things I had done, conversations with my mother, fights with my ex-boyfriend, nights when I cried alone. It knew details I'd never told a soul. I slammed the book shut and nearly ran. But something, maybe foolishness, made me stay. Every book I touched rewrote itself. For Chica, the book revealed her secrets, how she lied about failing a course, how she secretly envied me. For another boy who stumbled in later, it exposed his father's debts. It was as if the library knew us better than we knew ourselves. Weeks passed, and I kept returning. It became addictive. I told no one but Chica, and even she got scared. She stopped coming after one book predicted her sister's illness before it happened. For me, it was different. I felt drawn to it like the books were alive, calling my name. One night, close to midnight, I stayed late, trying to read for an exam. The main library was closing, but the hidden wing never closed. I slipped in quietly. That was when I saw him, a tall man in a dark suit, maybe in his 40s, already inside. His presence startled me because I had never seen anyone older in that wing before. "You shouldn't be here," he said softly. "Neither should you," I replied, folding my arms. He smiled faintly. "This place is not for the curious. It is for the chosen." I wanted to laugh, but something in his eyes silenced me. He pointed to one book on the top shelf. "That one is yours." Against my better judgment, I took it down. The cover shifted endlessly, refusing to settle on a title. When I opened it, my heart stopped. The first page said, "Amara. Tomorrow you will face a choice, to reveal the truth or to live a lie." The next day, in my department, chaos broke out. A lecturer had been accused of exchanging grades for money and favors. Students whispered, names were called, but no one had proof. Then someone pushed me forward. Amara knows. I didn't know how, but the book had shown me his corruption in vivid detail the night before. It was there, written out as though the pages had spied on him. If I spoke, I could expose him, but how would I explain my source? Who would believe I got evidence from a magical library? Lagos people would call me mad. If I stayed silent, the truth would rot, and innocent students would keep suffering. I remembered the man's words, to reveal the truth or to live a lie. So I spoke. Carefully, strategically. I told them things only the guilty lecturer could know. When they investigated, evidence surfaced. He was dismissed. Everyone called me brave, smart, lucky. Nobody knew the real reason. I returned to the library after that. But when I pushed the door open, all I saw was a wall of bricks. The hidden wing was gone. Chica swore it never existed. Even the shelf that once hid the door was gone. I asked around casually. Some older staff members shifted uncomfortably when I mentioned it. One old librarian whispered to me, "That wing comes and goes. It chooses its witnesses. Be grateful it let you in at all. That was 2 years ago. I've graduated now, working at a media company on the island. Life is fast. Lagos never slows. But sometimes, in the quiet of night, I still think of those shelves, those shifting titles, those pages that knew my soul." The truth is this: Lagos is full of hidden places. Behind the chaos, the traffic, the parties, and the hustle, there are secrets, ancient, restless secrets. If you're chosen to see them, your life will never be the same. So whenever I enter a library or even just pick up a book, I pause, waiting just in case the words shift again, and the pages call my name. I am Amara, and I am one of the few who know the secret of the library of shifting pages. And now the question is, if Amara found the courage to face the unknown, would you? Tell me in the comments, because this story may not be finished yet.